Let's go. Streaming data free on the MTN network in South Africa.
This is Omni Sports.
T's and C's apply.
Here is that massive news. Aston Martin have confirmed the signing of legendary F1 designer Adrian Newey as a managing technical partner and shareholder of the team. The 65-year-old's exit from his role at Red Bull was confirmed in May after an apparent breakdown in his relationship with principal Christian Horner. Now, if you've seen Christian Horner, you've seen what time it is. Listen, he is abrasive at the best of times. The new man at Aston Martin will be earning £30 million a year after winning 25 titles combined in terms of drivers and constructors throughout his Williams, McLaren and Red Bull career. Quite the thing for Adrian Newey here.
Yeah, he becomes a shareholder as well. So he said he was looking for a new challenge in Formula One. And what he's come to realize that years ago, Frank Williams, the legendary Frank Williams, who started the Williams Formula One team, told him, "You're probably the most competitive person in the pit lane." And he said, initially at the time, I was insulted. But and then I began to realize, it was a compliment. And I am probably the most competitive person in the pit lane, and that's what keeps pushing me, keeps driving me. He's 65 years old. He's got a lot to do. And he's got Lawrence Stroll's son, Lawrence Stroll, to work with next week, and also next year, from March, and Fernando Alonso. He
said it's always been his dream to work with either Lewis and Fernando. He said it's kind of difficult to work with them if they're in two different teams. So he's got half of his dream.
Of course, yeah.
But £30 million, it makes him one of the highest paid Englishman in sport today. What a life at 65.
It also shows the value of a really good engineer and the reputation he brings.
How important are these engineers? Because, I have to be honest, I don't watch Formula One. Like, I know what's going on, but I don't know the idiosyncrasies. What's going on there? How important are these guys at the very top? I mean, is he like the guy that determines how good the driver's life's going to be?
Yeah, that, and also he plays a certain role in the tactics during the race, but it's basically just the design of the car, and it's getting a car that's balanced, a car that's right. Mercedes-Benz have made a pig of a car for the last 2 years, and they're finally getting it right. McLaren are finally coming to terms with the Mercedes-Benz engine, and also it's getting those two together. A Mercedes-Benz engine and a McLaren is two disparate things you're bringing together, and the molding of those two is what creates a great balanced car that's going to win races.
And the loser in all of this, I would guess, is Verstappen, because if you're losing a guy like this, I mean, everybody thinks there's a genius everywhere. I think you've seen it in sport. Like the New England Patriots lost Tom Brady, and they've realized now that they're in a pit. Manchester United lost Sir Alex Ferguson. Arsenal lost Arsene Wenger. Like, there is only one of these people people always say they're all in. Like, there are people who are all in. This guy's not getting paid £30 million because he's some muck around guy. And also, it's not because he's talented. He is living this thing. Like, I watched his interview on Sky Sports, and he said, the guy asked him, "Are you, Mr. Newey, do you put or is there any pressure on you because of this £30 million?" He said, No. I put pressure on myself. And I'm like, oh, okay. I get it. If you're 65 and you're still talking about putting pressure on yourself, and the man must be worth hundreds of millions of pounds already.
Yeah, without a doubt.
These types of people that have this kind of fire. So good for him, good for Aston Martin. And and Verstappen's a crybaby now. Imagine what it's going to be like without the best. Good luck to Aston Martin. And if you're an F1 fan, Adrian Newey, would love to hear your thoughts. 0788777716. Let's move on to the cricket. Australia and England are going to play against each other in a limited over series because we need more T20 cricket, and they'll play 5 ODIs as well, so it'll be 3 T20 games. Aussie captain Mitchell Marsh spoke about the significance of the rivalry between both countries.
And the people watching, and we've got a lot of respect for them, so it's going to be an exciting series. Yeah, I think any time you play, no matter what format, they're our oldest rivals, and we love coming here. The reception we get as the Australian cricket team is always a good one, and as I said, we're very excited to start this series.
England, Australia, not the Ashes. Do we need it? Do we need more T20 cricket in our lives?
I think we do. We need something to spice cricket up at the moment. We need a direction. Cricket sort of wandered along, but aimlessly, the West Indies series with England, and also then the Sri Lanka series with England. South Africa just desperate to play test matches against anybody or any sort of cricket. They're off to UAE to go play Afghanistan and
No, you're joking.
Yeah, I'm afraid so, yeah. So we got 5 or 6 matches there. A lot of players have been rested, and we'll see how that team pans out. There's a couple of new all-rounders coming through, but we'll talk about that more later in the week.
England, Australia. Okay, Mitchell Marsh says it still matters even though it's not the Ashes. England have undergone a revolution, of course, under Brendan McCallum. There's been a bit of a shake-up there since McCallum took over the Test team. The now infamous Bazball will be coming to the short format of the game as well. The split role will be over as Baz will take over in January across all formats. Interim coach Marcus Trescothick gave his thoughts about McCallum taking over.
Very pleased with that decision. We've been... I think as assistant coaches, we've been urging Brendan to sort of, to do that sort of position because the impact he's had on the main Test team at the moment has been brilliant. And, I think the benefit he could do with what he's taking over full time will no doubt benefit the team in both formats. Having a leader of that caliber in there, it's great. And we all know that, that he's done a great job with that. And if we can do the same with the Test team, then that's what we want to see.
Any relation there to you, Brendan McCallum?
No. So the strange thing, he's got a U in his name. I've got an A, so it's McCallum, not McCullum. But we actually share the same birthday, the 27th September.
Really?
And when I went to the 2011 Cricket World Cup in India, and I started tweeting about the fact, I'm in India and this and this. I got another 3,000-4,000 Indian followers because they thought that I was Brendan McCallum's brother.
Oh, that's hilarious.
And they would invite me to the houses for tea. You can come have drinks with me at my house, come have dinner. And I said, but I'm not Brendan McCallum's brother.
Okay, put that aside. Did you go?
No. It's India. You don't leave your hotel.
I thought that was Brazil, but listen. So wait, I have to ask. So people actually thought you were Brendan McCallum's brother?
Yeah, he does have a brother who actually played. Played for the New Zealand. But they did, yeah. They really did. They thought I was.
You should have written that. I mean, you could have got like VIP. You know what cricketers are treated like in India.
Well, Neil Manthorpe, who actually also shares the same birthday as us, in September, coming up soon, guys. I'll give you my address later for presents. But he, on commentary, would go, and when Brendan McCallum was the wicketkeeper for New Zealand, would go, God, this Kevin McCallum is a mighty little git. And his co-commentator, because he's in New Zealand, say, who's Kevin McCallum? I said, oh, not again. And he kept doing it. He kept calling Brendan McCallum Kevin McCallum for a while.
Oh, that's hilarious. That's so good. I didn't. All right. Well, the McCallum we're talking about is Brendan McCallum. And Trescothick also discussed what people can expect. There's actually a new kid on the block. And I've been seeing this Jacob Bethel's name in the 100. They talked about what everybody can expect to see as Bethel makes his debut for the Three Lions.
I see a super talented kid who's making his way in the game. I've coached him a couple of times through the under-19s program, going back a couple of years, and it was really evident to me that he's going to be a superstar. We've seen it a little bit in the 100. We've seen various scores that he's made, catches that he's taken, and a little bit with bowling. And I think you're going to enjoy watching him going forward over the next few years.
It's an interesting one with cricket trying a few formats, right? There's the 100. They're talking about a 10 over formats. There's obviously the T20, which is I think T20 is like the main thing now, hey?
Yeah, without it is. I mean, that's why Test matches are struggling for space because basically they're looking for a little bit of open territory in the very very packed T20 franchise circuit.
And I guess I'm starting to sound like old guy because I only watch Test cricket, right? And the other stuff, I've got lots of apps on my phone, but whatever. The new generation will determine where we're going. And I mean, this Bethel's an exciting. I mean, he's playing cricket like he's going to be Baz's dream. McCallum is going to love him. Is 100 miles an hour from the get-go, and he's an all-rounder, and he's all action in the field as well. So you'll have to see it, and young people are into it. It's fun.
It works. And look at the SA20, Betway SA20 first year broke even.
It's
made money. That's exactly what they need.
Australia play England, of course, in England. That'll be good fun. 5 matches across the ODIs, 3 matches in the T20s. Breaking news from the Americas, though. Mauricio Pochettino has finally officially been announced as the US coach until the World Cup 2026. His contract will run until the end of the World Cup. USA captain Christian Pulisic had this to say about his incoming manager.
I need to show a little bit extra. I need to, give a good first impression is always really important. Of course, I've gone through a lot of changes in my career, so I think it can change a lot of, a little bit of the mentality, a little bit of the culture at the club. So hopefully, it's going to be a positive.
That's it from Captain America. He says, hopefully it's going to be a positive Argentine manager. It feels about right. Pochettino, America, to his mediocre coach, mediocre football nation. They belong together. In the words of modern day poet Mariah Carey, we belong together.
Rana Hannon from ESPN wrote that if you can't get Jurgen Klopp, you would do a lot worse than get the guy he beat in the European Champions League.
A reference there to the Tottenham Liverpool shellacking a couple of years ago.
2019.
In the Champions League. Wow, that long ago, before COVID. Unbelievable. All right, question of the day is, I played in the Conference, League 2, League 1, Championship, Premier League, the UEFA Cup, the Champions League, and the World Cup. Who am I? That is our question of the day. Coming up in 60 seconds, a Vikings ankle is breaking Arsenal hearts. Bafana have survived in Sudan. Let's talk international football.
Let's go. Streaming data free on the MTN network in South Africa.
This is Omni Sports.
T's and C's apply.